perfect. So I'm going to run through this fairly quickly here, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, so if you don't know what a chapter website is, or if you have one, there are a couple different versions of chapter websites that are out there. You've got the current website, and here's an example of what that looks like. And then we've got a brand new website template that just launched not too long ago, and it looks a little something like this. We've got about 4 chapters currently using our brand new template, and it's kind of exciting to have that. And we've got about 13 more in the queue to transition over. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. I'm gonna try to get through some of these other things. But for those of you that may not know, did you know that your chapter website could do all sorts of things? They can do event registration, you can do job listings on it, you can set your securities for members and non-members. You can showcase YouTube videos. You can do a direct link to the national database for your leadership team, your past presidents, your officers, all of that. And you can also do chapter elections and pollings. If you didn't know that, please get in contact with me. I'm more than happy to show your chapter website administrator how that's used, or anybody on your leadership team. But there's some really cool things that our websites have the capability of doing. And sometimes it's just not knowing how to use them or how to set those up. And we're happy to help. You kind of saw this slide if you were in the presentation on day 2. Jared went over chapter websites and how those can be used for your communication tools. These website brand, the biggest thing about your website is branding and understanding the branding for your chapter, and not just for chapter, but also kind of following along the branding guidelines for national as well. The nice part about the templates is we set you up initially with our branding guidelines, but then from there you can brand it to be more specific to your chapter if you would like that to be. The other things to keep an eye out for is the headlines, your photos, the copy that you're using, and the relevancy, and also just making sure that your information is up to date and is current. And contact information is listed there too. So if folks want to reach out to you, they have a way of getting a hold of you, or at least know someone that they can email or make a phone call to. I'm going to kind of roll through this branding piece here real quick, so I apologize for that, but these slides will be attached later on, so if you want to look at that later, you can. But the biggest part about branding is just understanding what that means for you and for your chapter. The biggest thing is it's an intention, it's consistency, and it's repetition. So the same color for your fonts, the same type of images, the same type of theme across your pages, the same type of font text. All of those lead to your branding, and following those guidelines are super helpful in order to make for a clean, clear, concise, and easy readable website. So when you're looking at branding, if you create a style guide, it can be a very simplistic that just says our logos will be like this, our fonts will be with this type of font, our color will be this way, and our sizing of our font will be a certain size. And setting that out against whoever is going to be adding content to your webpage is super helpful. The other biggest thing that you should be very mindful of is just your website headers. Make sure those have a large impact. They're instantly recognizable, and that kind of follows the same theme of everything that your chapter is doing. The biggest thing there is your graphics. So when you talk about your homepage, graphics are huge, especially on the brand new template. The new template follows the same structure as the national website. So those big banners across the top are available to you, and making sure those are very clean and concise and easily readable is something that you'll want to pay attention to as you start building out for that one. But also think about your homepage as a billboard. So campaigns can go over multiple weeks on your homepage, such as award winners, you're calling for speakers, any educational events or conferences that you've got coming up, any voting. Those things are more on a billboard type of environment. So you would want those on your homepage. And more of your details and your information that you really want them to dig into goes into your internal pages of your website. So talking about homepage graphics, the biggest thing here is just that they're very clear. So if you're using the old template, using very crisp, clean graphics that say what you need them to say, that are very similar to this. For those who are going to be on the brand new template, using clean graphics like this makes for a very nice look on those web pages and tells them what they need. You don't need as many people in the images if you don't want them to. They can be very basic backgrounds with bright, bold text in there. I'm not going to talk about adding a video to your website, but the steps will be here. If you've got questions on how to add a video to your website, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to focus a little bit more of our time in this training on event features. So if you didn't know, you have the capability on the chapter websites to use the event registration tool, and it's free for you to use minus the credit card charges that are the transaction fees that are out there. So that is a positive when you look at using your website templates. to use the event registration tool. I will tell you this event tool is not meant for your big, drastic, huge events, something similar to PWX or Snow Conference. They're more designed for your simple, small events. They can do some complex events, but not the extreme version of a complex event. And so it's really nice to be able to have that tool available to you and to your chapter to use. But if you didn't know, there's lots of things you can do, such as early bird registration, member, non-member registration pricing. There's 2-tiered registration. There's calendar email invites and your confirmations. You can do coupon codes for complimentary registration or discounts. For Canadian chapters, we have the capability for you to do your tax collections and calculations on your websites now. All of your events that go on your chapter websites do get listed out on the National Chapter Events calendar page. And then what's brand new out there, not brand new, there used to be a risk and liability waiver out there for the last few years, but we've added recently a COVID-19 pandemic waiver. So folks have to sign that prior to moving on in the registration process, which covers you and covers your, helps kind of cover your insurance in case something were to happen. They will have at least agreed to it through that platform and have read it at some point. So this is the National Chapter Event Calendar. So any event that's listed on your chapter website automatically gets posted out to the event calendar, and it's accessible through the APWA website. And this is just really pointing out that member, non-member pricing in here in your early bird and regular rates. So if you didn't know that that was there for you, these are the features that are available through the chapter website, along with the confirmation email. So you can add a coupon, which is what the image is at the top here. And then when they receive the confirmation email, when they register for the event, there is the download icon that actually adds it to their calendar. And it adds it to their calendar based on the time zone that they're in. So it's kind of neat that we have that functionality already built into the chapter email tool. This here is looking at you can send emails through the chapter website. So for those folks who have registered for an event and you want to do a specific outreach effort to them, you can go into the registration manager, click email, and it's going to pull up everybody that's registered for that event, and you can generate an email right there to those registrants. You can even break it down to those maybe who haven't paid their fees yet at that point in time. They wanted to pay by check or pay later. You can filter that list down. It'll automatically send a message out to them through this tool. For Canadian chapters that are on here, you have the capability to set up your taxes on your websites now. This feature was rolled out, I think, about a year ago. There is an icon in the event setup area that says set up event tax, and it gives you the capability to actually put in your rates for the taxes and the taxes that you charge in your province. Within the event itself, you actually can set the tax rate on each option that's created. So some options will have different tax rates versus others, depending on if it's a purchase of a product or purchase of an educational event. So you can set those rates based on each of the options within your own event. The risk and liability waiver, this is just a real quick screenshot, but before they can proceed with the registration, they have to say that they agree. If they click no, it will not allow them to proceed with their event registration. This is only in the online tool that's out there. So talking real quick about the new website template and what that means for you. The new look is very much more of a modern look. It's mobile responsive. There is now a monthly calendar for your event listing. It gives the chapter contact information right on the homepage. There's an About Us section for the chapters that's already built into your homepage. You have website analytics that'll be set up, and then there's a whole chapter setting that has a bunch of different features in it that gives you as a chapter more capability to do stuff on your website than what you previously were with the older template. For those chapters maybe who don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the new template or what the transition period is, there is a way to go about getting you on the list to transition over. You have to submit a website conversion form, and I will make sure that that resource is attached in our leadership training webpage that we've got. The biggest thing is focusing on updating all of your images so they fit the new website template in general. The homepage has a completely different image size, and so that is a huge focus as you look forward to transitioning over to the new website template. And then the biggest thing is schedule a training with staff. If you're not able to attend any of our trainings that we have scheduled out that go over CT5, we are more than happy to do one-on-one trainings with you because there are a few things that are a little bit different on this new template. And the biggest thing there is don't be afraid to reach out to APWA staff. Tomorrow, we do have a CT5 training that is going over the new template with all of the folks who have currently transitioned or will be transitioning in the next few months. And if your chapter is interested in joining that training, please reach out to me personally. I can send you the meeting invite for that, and we can get you going on looking at all the new features that are with CT5. If you've got any questions, I know this is really quick and I apologize for kind of whipping through this section here real fast. If you've got questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Zach Tarbill. We are more than happy to answer any questions when it comes to the chapter websites. And then wrap up, to finish us off here, just kind of a wrap up. Hopefully you've enjoyed the last 4 sessions that we've had here for chapter leadership training. All of the resources and presentations that you've seen over these 4 sessions is available out there on the apwa.net/CLT website. And Tammy will be sending a follow-up email to everybody to let you know that that's where these resources are available. There's also a survey that we would appreciate your feedback on, asking how these 4 days have gone and what you thought about the format as we look to build out the program in the future.